crazy
I run
work.
it back. I run it back.
No, I got to run the whole thing back. That's crazy work. See, that's why when you live, man. Damn, boy. Crazy. When you live, you know what I'm saying? So now I got to say the whole thing again. What's up, man? Man, Coach Block's First and Goal 365 podcast. And this is the Legacy and Leadership edition. And with these editions now, we're going to start getting to the community aspect. We're interviewing the coaches as well for all the high schools that are a part of the Bull City Classic. But it's important for me to shine a light also on those that are in the community, from the community, who now deal with these student athletes and help them on and off the field. So today I got Dylan with me. Y'all have seen Dylan on the podcast before of 919 Elite, but he's brought two other coaches with him. So Dylan, please do me a favor and go ahead and introduce who you got.
What's going on? I'm Dylan Davis, man. Like you said, part owner of 919 Elite. Got my guys here, Travion and Reg. They're gonna kind of give their own introduction, but these are some. I wouldn't be able to run 919 without them and some other guys' help. But I'm glad they're here. Introduce yourself, man.
I'm Travion. I went to Clemson University. I do my own, got my own entity as far as training. I'm really not with a school right now. My training is get.icky on Instagram. And I played a couple years in the league, got a good experience with that. And just happy to get back.
What high school you from?
Went to Hillside High School.
There you go.
Yeah, historically known.
Yeah. I'm a Hillside on as well.
All right, for sure. My name is Reggie Green, quarterback coach for Southern Durham. Also a quarterback coach trainer in the area. I met up with Dylan at Winston-Salem State. That's where we met up with each other. We ran into each other at Chipotle. He was letting me know, for sure. So he let me know, man, he was looking for a quarterback coach for his 7-on league, and we got to rolling from there, man. So we picked up where we left off from Winston. Been connected ever since.
Cool. So now we're just gonna jump straight into it. 919 Elite. Tell me about it. Tell me, just for those who haven't seen it, Dylan, just tell us about the genesis of it and where we at right now.
The genesis of it started off as BYC Elite, Beyond Your Challenges Elite, and the whole focus was the youth and skill development to kids, man. Growing up, Travion, we grew up in this area. We didn't necessarily have it. It's kind of a concept of AAU football, but it's more so about the development, man. Just providing them with extra resources outside of what they get in their school. And now it's 919 Elite now, and we trying to basically welcome everybody that's in the area and outside the area. Bringing on great coaches like Travion and Coach Reg has been a blessing. We got other coaches, Coach Jeff Clark, Ron Rice, AJ Love. Just want to give a shout out to some of the guys that been with me since the beginning and guys that been in and out as well. Even if they just popping up for one time, it been amazing. And the focus is on development. We coach what come. Like we don't have a preference on who you are, where you come from. And I think that's the beauty of kind of like what 919 is. Just establishing confidence, putting in confidence. I can't call it how many kids that we talk to even now, and I know they running into it, and that's why I brought these guys. They keep it going even within their own entities.
Right.
Get Icky, and he runs our quarterback club with his organization, and he's everywhere, and he's grown immensely, and they work together. They just had a session yesterday, so y'all just stay tapped in with that. But just having that has just allowed us to just keep going. There's been times I can't tell you how many times I wanted to stop.
Right.
Honest.
Right.
Just because of the strenuous and feeling like we not popping or we not, but you get that one kid to say, man,
appreciate you.
That's all you need. And then with their motivation as well, they showing up. They got their own kids, got their own families, and they showing up. So it's like, I'm gonna show up too. So it's just that extra motivation, man. And we here now.
How important is it, and this is for the panel, how important is it to be from Durham and doing it in Durham? Because you can do it anywhere. You all you need is a field and some grass, and you can get rocking. But how important is it to be from Durham and working with the kids that are here, right here in the Bull City?
And for me, I tell these boys all the time, like, when I was growing up, Durham didn't have position-specific trainers. We really just had strength and conditioning trainers, and if we wanted to get that skill where we went either with the strength and conditioning and just did basic drills, or we went on our own and met up with a couple of friends and got busy. But for us to be able to experience the level of ball that we did and be able to come back and give back to the community, and just give the kids insight on where they can go. Like a lot of kids just need guidance.
That's it.
Like a lot of people don't know Durham got a lot of talent and
Yeah.
had a lot of talent, but they just
Yeah.
didn't have the proper guidance
Yeah.
or resources to pour in them.
Mhm.
And I mean, for me, it was really just coming back and being able to do just that.
Yeah.
Pour back into them, give them the insight and the knowledge that I've gained over my experience and playing career,
Mhm.
and just to make sure that instill in them so that they can have that proper guidance as well.
Yeah. Dope.
And I mean, for me being from down, like I said, I kind of said it already. It's a blessing. Like having, like, I remember when I started and he went there, my guy Eli, he from Durham too.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is it.
Mhm.
You know, and like he said, the development, having trainers that's in the area,
Yeah.
it's at an influx now.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like picking your own, what's your favorite drink?
Mhm.
And like I said, like these two are really fresh in the game, but they're not fresh into the game of football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wealth of knowledge.
They got so much to give.
Mhm.
And even me, I don't train, I coach.
Yeah.
I'm the wide receiver coach at Jordan High School, but
Right.
it's like I send them there.
Mhm.
Like I know, go to them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just really the beauty in it, just having development. All the other stuff, the 7-on-7, that's cool, but actually having
Mhm.
development coaches in the
Yeah.
can't beat it.
How about you, Coach?
As far as I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, but
Mhm.
that inner city, that I've been able to see it from the outside lens, right?
Uh-huh.
So I've been able to witness, like, man, when I came to 919, I was seeing like the wealth of talent, right?
Mhm.
But also, yeah, we developed them, but they come pretty prepared as far as with ability,
Yeah.
right? So me just being able to witness that, man, it's been love, and it's been easier to pour back into them, right?
Yeah.
Because then they also want to get better. They do tap in with us. They like, man, they yearning for the proper coaching and the proper preparation.
Right.
So, yeah, it's love.
And so for y'all that are actually from Durham, the one thing I have said numerous times on this podcast is, for me, Durham feels like back home for me, because it's a little bit, it's us, and it's warmer. It's not what people really think it is. Because the first thing I got when I got into Raleigh, they was like, be careful in Durham. But then when I got to Durham, I'm like, man, this is like home. Like, what you talking? And then the one thing that I can do, and the reason why I feel so impelled to be able to do this in Durham, is my very first camp was in Durham. When I'm trying to find a field, people were like, yo, come here, you can do it here.
Yeah.
So just talk to us a little bit about just the misconceptions of just Durham, as far as, you know, it being so hard and so rough and so scary. Because like I said, it for me, it feels like home, and I appreciate even being able to operate and work with the Durhamites.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think the stigma that what people kind of created is really false. Like, every city and state got their parts where people, you know, can't go, or where they got a lot of crime and all that. But I think the city of Durham is beautiful, to be honest. Like, and the fact that they're building up around here, over the years, and just making it up to more of a city. I think that's weaving out a lot of stuff that people think that we are. You know, and being from here, I don't think it's no different. I grew up on the West End, you know, side of Durham. Not really too fond of where people would come or not. But I didn't think it was too bad. But I just think, honestly, with that, I think people need an outlet. Yeah. People need an outlet. People need stuff that structure. People need people to pour back into them, like how we are. And, you know, I think my mama used to tell me, she's like, knowing is half the battle.
Yes.
You know, and that's just having knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people don't have knowledge. So they don't know what's outside of their own community. To get out and be like, hey, this right here ain't it.
Yeah.
This right here ain't, you know, and for us, a lot of kids to be able to go outside the city. And experience a lot of different things, and then come back and pour to the people that they grew up around. It makes a difference, because I mean, I don't know how it is with you know, with growing up with each and every one of you, but I know a lot of people, like, if you're from the hood and you was an athlete, people try to get you to stay out the hood. You know what I mean? And those are the ones that come back and influence the people that try to keep them out of trouble. You know, and it's just like a whole trickle effect of just people in positive influence. And you know, me being in my word, and you just got to be a light to people. Be a light to all of the world, and everything will start to change as you become that and be that example.
How about yourself?
Man, to be honest, man, them kids, they gonna notice if you real or not. To be honest, that's one thing that, and like I said, piggying back on what I said earlier, they yearn for it, right? So if you authentic and you coming with passion, it's genuine, they gonna sense it out.
Yeah.
So that's what, like again, that's what make it so easy, because you know what I'm saying, that's what I wanted when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I needed and stuff like that. But I was able to prevail and still get to a point where I'm able to gain wealth of knowledge.
Right.
And every time I say thank you to somebody that poured into me, I say like the honest, genuine way to say thank you is to give it back.
That's right. That's right.
And just to piggyback on what this guy said, being from Durham, like the stigma it's crazy. Going to Hillside, going to Shepherd, and the schools that I went to, you know, like it would be you would hear parents say, "Hey, my son ain't going to that school." But we kind of be looking like, why not?
Right.
Like, you getting it was almost like we was getting prepared for the real world in based on our environments. I grew up in North Durham off Dearborn, you know, and people would like to say, "Oh, that's this and that," but them some of the most hardworking people that I learned from.
That's what I see.
What I'm saying, getting up every day, like you know, making it, you know. People compare making it to having nice things and, you know, the glossy stuff, but making it was, you know, Mr. Johnson down the street having a job, providing for his family, right? Going to get different things and being able to just to have the basics, you know. And my dad taught me, you know, and his mom and hard work, and I should Reg the same way. That's why we all here. Basic hard work can get you what you want. It's all about how you look at it, your perspective of things, like you said, knowing, right? A lot of people don't know. A lot of kids act out of ignorance, right? Because they don't know, right? So for me, I take that into my coaching, like you said, just trying to be holistic. Like it's crazy. Somebody asked me the other day, what's my coaching style? And I had to. It was crazy because you rarely get that question. But for me, I had to kind of check it. I hold myself accountable a lot. I tell my kids all the time, sometimes when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to my 32-year-old self. Because I never stop learning. Because sometimes you'll find yourself, I'm telling the kid this, and I ask myself, dang, am I doing that? And if I ain't, and sometimes I am, and then sometimes I'm not on it as I should be. And that's just me as a man being able to look myself in the mirror and be like, let me get on that more. So even when I am telling him I'm doing that better. So from a sense of the question of just Durham and the stigma of it, it's not what people think it is. And I think it's a lot of cities like that, but Durham is like a butterfly. Like me growing up here, seeing, like he said, the buildings and it's not. I wouldn't want to be from nowhere else.
I know that's right. Now, as young men who I can call y'all young men because y'all younger than me, right? But then I'm also not on complete unk status yet. I'm struggling. I'm almost there though, right? I'm right there, right? The hairline gonna tell you that I'm unk, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not there yet. But how do you guys balance the love that they need as big bro, but then also letting them know, like, nah, I still ain't your equal. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are younger coaches, so they still see you like, and that's just Dylan. You're like, no, that's Coach Dylan. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So how do y'all balance the line between the respect and still keep it about football, but also show the brotherly love that they need?
I'm gonna actually go first on this one because I struggle with that. Like when I first started coaching, like that was one of my hardest things. And when I say it wasn't the respect factor, more so it was balancing, like, teaching the kids how to turn it off and turn it on, right? Like, cause I have personality. I like to have fun. But when I'm in between them lines, I'm about business. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to get to it. And it's teaching them, like, when you walk through your work door, you can't be the same person you is out there. Like, right? It's bigger than football, right? But y'all coaches tell us that all the time. Yo, football is a game of life. So for me, as I've gotten older and I hit my 30s, you know, as I got older, it was less stuff I was taking. I could see my leash. Like, no, all that playing, like it started, you know, it started that human nature again. And I just had my first kid, and it's even up now, even more. It's like, I'm not here to waste no time. I'm not playing with nobody. Like, not from a good sense though. Like, you know, I'm not here to play with y'all, but they know they know when they've gotten to the point now. They know when they can be loose with me. And they know. So that was really. It was a time though. It took time, like, you know. And I feel like right now I'm in my prime form of them understanding, like, all right, Coach Davis not playing. Let's get to it. Like, in which I'm always not playing, but you know what I mean.
With me, as far as understanding it, like at the quarterback position, you kind of have to begin with a short leash. Like you got so much intricate details that you have to pay attention to. So it's not really much room for joking, playing. Yeah. So we started off, but the way that I teach, we try to dig in on the fine details and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it makes it a little bit more harder for to go in and playing and stuff. So.
Yeah. And now you got the receivers, right?
Yeah.
Now, me and receivers, I just, I'm a back. So I feel like y'all divas from the day y'all step on the field. Like, man, y'all always crying, always want the ball. Nick, we got one ball. You gonna get your touches, but how do you handle the ego that's in being a receiver? Because I haven't met a receiver, even if they calm, cool, collective. I haven't met a receiver that I'm open, throw me the ball, I don't care what's up. And you got that ego, that swagger. But how do you groom that in the younger generation?
So I'm gonna start off with your first question. Me being a father, helped me out with that.
Yeah.
And just the maturity level of my personality and what I value.
Yeah.
As far as how I coach the kids, like I'm not gonna indulge in something that's childish in their in my mind, but what they think is funny.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna correct it. And it's a lot of stuff again in my life that I learned at the collegiate level and professional level that I know that I can teach that doesn't really, is conducive to their growth.
Yeah.
Right. So I really kind of correct it from that standpoint. But as far as the stigma, as far as being prima donnas and divas or whatnot, I teach ball. Like I don't just, put drills out. So I teach them the holistic part of the game where they can be important in different areas and facets, right? Like blocking, like you may, like I tell them, like, listen, you want to score, right? Because we on the 1 yard line, we having the ball out to the running back, right? And then you mad because you ain't scoring. You think that they should just throw the fade, as far as blocking,
we on that 1 yard line, that's going in.
And as far as blocking too, like you can really have your game. I call it the game within the game.
Yeah,
right. Like, give them a release, right? You may have something in the play call sheet, especially if you're a student of the game and then went through your whole play call sheet and studied film to know that I'm gonna have to try this release on this blocking play, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna set me up in the fourth quarter when we really need it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I teach a lot of different areas of the game to where they're not just focused on okay, well I gotta run this route real good to get the ball.
Yeah,
right. And so many other parts where they can be contributing factors. And not just think that okay, well I deserve the ball every play.
Right,
and even then, like I tell them sometimes, like I speak ball. Like sometimes receivers got to run for the love of the game.
I know that's right.
For the
decoy.
For the love of the game. And it wasn't until I got to college that I learned that. Like I'm just running for my health. Like, what? But once you understand the whole broad scheme of things and being a servant to your teammates, then you'll understand that everything ain't about you.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said being a servant because D-Rob mentioned that. Coach Lee mentioned that, like just being a servant to the game, even as a coach.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to ask that for you all when you're working with the kids and you've reached, y'all ain't listening. How do you check yourselves where it's like, okay, let me pull back a little bit because they still kids. You know what I'm saying? Because we love this game, and just like I'll quote D-Rob, don't mess with my game. You know what I'm saying? But we also know that they're students. So how do you handle yourself? Like, how we coach the kids, but how do you coach you?
For me, and it's just based off my experience, I can't coach every kid the same.
Yeah.
Right. Like I tell them, like, listen, I can't. I may can call you out in front of the group, but I may have to pull you to the side, but I still can chew you out.
Right.
But you respected the fact that I pull you to the side.
Yeah.
And that's just the personality and understanding who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Right. And tailoring it to the kid. Right. Because a lot of kids, come up in different households, right? And you can't, they don't get parented the same.
No.
Right. So when
some of them are the men of the house.
Right. And they don't get parented the same. So when you know and really dive into who the kid is and their background a little bit, and that just comes with talking to them. For me, with each session and with practicing and whatnot, but just understanding where they come from, you can kind of tailor and filter how you deliver your messages to them, and how they receive it.
Yeah.
And just piggybacking on what he said, it's building a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what make them tick, what make them don't tick. And I would say for me, the servant part of it, especially with the servant leadership part, when the kids see you doing a lot of stuff that, you know, that you asking them to do within the game, you know, like he said, like the game within the game, even when it comes to picking up trash on the field, like, or you know, taking bags in the shed, like before, so they'll see it. They'll see the little stuff. So when I'm asking them to do the little stuff, it's like I know my coach gonna do it. You know, like, so it's really like he says, developing a relationship, knowing the kid, knowing what make them tick. Cause me, whichever, like everybody got a guy in their room. I don't care, even if your teammate, you know who your guy is, right?
Of course,
that you want to depend on. I developed a relationship with him even the most. So now when I'm getting on the guy, and they see it's almost like they call it the Bill Belichick thing. Like I'm getting on Tom Brady, it ain't nothing you can say,
right?
You know, so everybody takes the coaching a certain way, and I got better with that as I got older in coaching. And you know, it's just things you learn each year, which you know, that you get better at in coaching. And it's all about the relationship though, when it come to that stuff.
Yeah, so piggybacking off what y'all two said, man, just be building that interpersonal relationship, right? And like my quarterbacks, I want them to be an extension of me as a coach out there, right? So you got a guy that 10 other players are looking up to you,
right,
to get us down the ball, or get us down the field. You touch the ball every play. You know what I'm saying? You're in the center. So there's building that interpersonal relationship, but also consistency. So whenever we hit a roadblock or a threshold that's a little bit more harder to get over, right? It's repetitive. It's that's the same thing with being a quarterback too, though. It's repetitive. You know, Tom Brady hitting the same. It becomes boring, but you gotta start having fun within the process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we try. That's the way that I try to attack it.
What is y'all advice to? I wasn't going to ask it. I'm going to ask it because you guys are also a mentor to these kids, and then also to the parents. What's your advice for what we're seeing now amongst the community? It doesn't make a difference if it's Wake County, Durham County, you know, over in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, where we just see kids not sticking it out. It's easier over here. I'm out. You know, it's a better opportunity. They think the grass is greener. I'm out. So, you know, what do you guys think about it? And then how do you think it's playing on the game right now?
That's a dope way. So that's a good question. I mean, I'm a guy that transferred, right? So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I had to find my place, right? I finished at Winston-Salem, right? And I got a degree, and, you know, and you look at it, like the coaches left, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I get to Louisville and, you know, coach not leaving. Coach Strong tell me he's not leaving. That next week he throwing up hook 'em horns going to Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's kind of tough. You feel me? Like, but as far as, man, I wish it wasn't as microable as it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wish it was like a little bit more grit, right? It's just like, all right, let me figure it out first. Let me make sure. You know what I'm saying? So I get some kids that would be like, man, Coach, if you got a connection, I'm like,
I hear that all the time. Coach, I know you got a plug. Nah, man.
It's gonna work. Just rock it out. Season ain't even started. Nothing transpired. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, it's one of those things, you know, it's a case-to-case basis, right? So it's kind of hard to give like a general answer, right? But man, all I can really say is just keep working hard, and then just don't. It's a process. It's not an overnight thing. You're not gonna get gratification, a sustainable gratification overnight, not one that you want.
Right.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, as far as advice, you said advice to the parents and students.
Parents and students, because you know, like, college-wise, it's the young men.
Yeah,
high school is more so the
like
parents.
Like you said, I transferred to Winston, and I understand that I was in a situation, but from a high school standpoint, you know, I played at one school for 4 years, and granted, it was dynamic was different, but I think I would say, like, from a parent standpoint, they got to know their kid. Like, a lot of parents don't really, really know their kid. Like, so, you know, like, when they drop them off, they don't understand that their kid ain't doing this at practice or how their kid actually going about their business. And, you know, and they looking at it like, oh, my son ain't playing. Or my son ain't getting what they think they deserve because he doing this. He with Coach Travion training every day. He with Coach Rez training, so that means he's supposed to go.
He's
to
supposed
school
to get it.
start where when he comes to the school, he not doing what his coaches told him.
Right.
Because Coach Travion and Coach, they'll tell you like, I'm teaching you this, but make sure you're including it in what your coaches want you to do.
Right.
Not just going there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing your own thing.
It's you got to put it in your tool belt.
Yeah, so from a parent aspect, I would just say just know your kid. And from a player aspect, like he said, work hard.
Yeah.
Put your head down and do what the coaches tell you to do first and see if that works.
Yeah. Try that out first.
And most of the time, if you got good, competent coaches, it's gonna put you in a position where you feel like I can help this team or I can help my team win, rather special teams, rather it might not be in your position. It might be in other roles. And that's the part where a lot of coaches, like Coach was saying, that's the game within the game too. It might not be in your position first. It might be in special teams. Your coach see like, man, he hustling. Man, get that kid a rep. Like that's
I don't know why people don't understand special teams gonna get you there.
That's how I made the bus. Somewhere I know you can't even make the bus. You can't even be on the starting defense if you want on the special teams. Right. I can just piggyback on that, but man, it's just knowing you.
Slide the mic a little closer.
I think for me is entitlement and a false sense of reality.
Okay.
I think, and that goes for both the parents and the kids. And just piggybacking on what both of them said. Like they really want the microwave success. They see it's a trickle effect. They see it happening at the professional level where people asking for trades. They see it at the collegiate level where you got kids going to 3, 4, 5. And when they had the 6 years, six schools.
My man from Miami did what? 6, the tight end. He did 6 years.
You know what I mean? So like it's seeing that and a lot of these kids with the false sense of reality, like. A lot of parents think they kid better than what they are. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. But at the end of the day, you gotta be a realist at the end of the day. You gotta be to the point to where you giving your kid the best opportunity mentally before they even go perform physically. The best chance that they can get. Because at the end of the day, parents can't get on the field. Right. The parents is really only there to guide and protect them from harm or getting, got over on. I think that's what it is. But the kids at the end gotta get there. And like Coach Dillon said, like, a lot of kids don't tell their parents, like, oh, well, I'm at practice and I'm missing blocks. I didn't drop 10
or I'm just messing around.
Or
I ain't messing around.
I ain't handling my business. So, I think it's just that entitlement and false sense of reality. And again, like, I'm not against it, but you can't play the comparison game. Because if you're gonna compare, you got to be around the right crowd, right? And that's the comparison game, and that being around the right crowd gonna elevate you, right? But when you comparing it to someone and you not holding your end of the stick up, then that's the false sense.
You talking about you need a scholarship, but you see this kid that you comparing yourself to is going to go get it.
Yeah, he working out every day, but you probably joining him maybe 1 out of the 5 days that he go work out, and thinking that you just because y'all look cool, then y'all, but. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's just being a realist. And for me, like I might have transferred from Clemson. Okay. But that's a story for another day. But I always believed in myself that my hard work was gonna show for itself. And like I said, my faith in me being in the word since then, I've always believed in myself and believed in God that He's gonna put me in the right position. And I think that, a lot of people they're lost in the sauce from that, right? They're disconnected from God and not really tapping into that higher power to where they feel it, to where they not really worried about nobody else or worried about what critics saying and other blogs. Critics, right? They trying to kill
it's
you.
A hot topic, right?
Yeah, they trying to get around that, right? Like you see a lot of kids, like Coach Red said about the microwave success. You see a lot of kids like posting videos. The nature of social media is killing it too. And I tell these kids, I said my first 2 years of training, because it's my 3rd year, I didn't record at all. I'm like, when I was growing up, I ain't when you get on that field, the work gonna show. Right. So now you got kids that get on the field and they showing all these good videos and clips that's edited, and they get on the field and like, what was this? And then that go back again to that false
False
reality
reality.
and
Yeah.
that entitlement. And it's just, that's all I got to
Yeah.
say. About
That's
that.
all right.
And my
Right.
last,
Yeah.
if I
No,
may,
go ahead, go ahead.
he was talking about the God and the faith thing, like,
Mhm.
and faith is where your grit come from.
Mhm.
You know, everybody got different faiths.
Mhm.
Like, everybody got different religions. It's not, but faith is where your grit come from,
Mhm.
right? You know, mustard seed faith.
Yeah.
And my dad always told me, he said, that's one thing you got, because I was saying I was going to the league.
Yeah.
And my dad and them never said it. I never knew I won't
Mhm.
going, but that was my mindset. So
Mhm.
when I put the work in, it's just it's that faith. Faith is where you develop that grit. So
Yeah.
that's all. I just wanted to kind of piggyback
Nah, you
on that.
good,
It's real.
because I'm glad you mentioned the mustard seed, because what we know now, we all had the opportunity to play college ball,
Mhm.
so we've been a part of the 3%.
Mhm.
You've
Yeah.
gone on to play for the league, so you a part of the 1%.
1%. Yeah.
Give some information though to the 97 so that they can become the 3, and then give some to the 3 so they can become the 1, because each part is a different level of work. So when you're going from youth to high school, different level of work. High school to college, different level of work. College to the pros, you don't even got to talk about the level of work. But the entitlement starts with education, or stops with education. And I think the more that we can learn from brothers like yourselves, like, I was at Clemson and this is what happened, and I was in the league and this is what happened, and I transferred and this is what happened. So I think people need to hear more of that. So if y'all can just talk about how, if I feel like, man, I'm in the 97, what I got to do to get in the 3? We'll start there. Just how do I get into that 3% if I'm on the outside looking in right now?
Before you do anything, you gotta get your grades. Before you do anything,
What you say? We'll just start right there.
You gotta get your grades. But y'all can go after that.
You say that, don't even. Let's just start right there.
It's funny because I was going to start with being a student first.
Mhm.
Being a student, and then I was going to go to your commitment level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of again, that goes back to the entitlement and the false reality of, we got one dude going to the gym.
Hold on.
You got
There
one
you go.
dude. You got
Right,
one
see.
dude going to the gym
Yep.
5 times a week, and
Yeah.
you got one who going one time.
Mhm.
And in that 97%, that's where you're gonna stay at if you go one time out of the week.
Mhm.
And that's just like, like building muscle. Right?
Yeah.
You can't
Muscle
go to the
memory.
gym one time a week and expect to have the physique and the results that you want by I'm gonna just say half doing it.
Yeah.
And for me, like the commitment part to get from the 97, okay, and that's like Coach Dillon said, knowing, well, as far as the parents, knowing your kid, but the kid also got to know themselves.
Yeah.
And as far as how far they can push themselves,
Mhm.
and also their skill level.
Mhm.
Some kids just don't got it, but that ain't meaning that they can't develop and put themselves in a position
Mhm.
to get there.
Yeah.
And again, not playing the comparison game
Right.
with the wrong crowd or having the wrong mentality for that, because you can have somebody who just got God-given natural abilities.
Right.
In that 97,
I know.
right?
Just a freak.
to get to that 3%.
Yeah.
But you got the one that's in that 97 who really got to work extra hard
Yeah.
to get it in. And that's not saying that they can't, but they got to do the extra work.
Yeah.
And once they have that commitment part to them, they will be able to propel to get into that. And then it's just, as far as on the commitment level, to get to that 3%,
Yeah.
you get to that 3%.
Yeah.
Gotta have the discipline along with it.
To stay with it.
To stay with it. And if you don't have that discipline, you're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to go.
Yeah.
And that's just my spiel on it.
And before you go, that's
Yeah,
a
go
fact
ahead.
that I like to give people, because when people say, well, what is first and goal and what are you trying to do? How are you trying to educate? The biggest thing is, and one of the scariest statistics is 33% of the student athletes that are African American make it.
Mhm.
75% of them drop out in the first semester.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere there's a disconnect of, preparation, discipline, commitment, desire. Something happens within that first semester where they drop out. I ain't even saying transfer.
Yeah.
75% drop out. That's crazy work.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's real. And I'm gonna kind of back you up, because I think you downplayed your grind even more, because I was one of them kids where I felt like I had to go get it.
Mhm.
Travion met me. I wasn't fast. I wasn't tall.
Mhm.
So, but I wanted it. I
Mhm.
wanted to play. Like when I figured out what I wanted to do, because I went in the high school, I'm a basketball player.
Yeah.
And then I went into the gym and I seen dude.
alley-ooping.
I said,
That's the same thing with
man,
me.
I looked
I
at
could
the
hoop all the way
odds.
to the
Yeah,
ninth grade.
I
I'm
looked at
like,
the odds.
I'm a
like,
football
this
player.
ain't me. I'm gonna go play football. But you know, I wasn't 4'4", I wasn't 4'5", but I wanted it. I
Yeah.
grinded, and I was one of those ones. I'm outside running routes in the backyard, messing up my mama grass.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was one of those.
Yeah.
And I made it to Division II level. Thank God.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I wasn't going D3.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
pause. When I say 3%, that's Division
everybody,
3,
yeah.
2,
Yeah.
1,
College
yeah,
period.
That's
Yeah.
just,
college period.
I ain't
Like,
saying 3% into
No,
just the
yeah.
P4. That's
that's
everybody.
everybody. And me, from a sense of just knowing Travion, I saw him from the beginning.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he came into the school as a quarterback, as a hooper, really playing football.
Mhm.
So when he started playing receiver, I was kind of a guy like, Travion, do a little bit like this
Mhm.
with drills. I didn't mold him. He
Yeah.
had the talent,
Right.
but it was little stuff because he was playing receiver as a sophomore on varsity.
Okay. Okay.
And he was
Boy,
throw the
green.
ball deep.
Yeah, just
Go
throw it
get
up.
route running, drill work. As I came back, when
Yeah.
I left and I came back, he was a different animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a different animal. Like you could tell he had tapped in. Like, yeah, this
Mhm.
I hoop, but this I'm good at. I'm
Yeah.
kind of good at this.
Yeah.
So with that 3% that he talking about, he went to Louisville. He was
Mhm.
with Teddy Bridgewater. He been there,
Mhm.
and they on them. That's a whole nother 3% to me. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was looking at them. That's a 1.5%. If you want to break it
Yeah.
down, going D1 ain't easy.
Right. Right.
It's not. It's a mixture of God given and discipline.
Yeah.
Right. But I just to say, like I tell the kids all the time, most of y'all are gonna be a me.
Mhm.
Division II.
Mhm.
You know, most of y'all are gonna be Division II. Only
Mhm.
really a couple of y'all are really Division I athletes.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
That's
Right. A
less
lot of
than
y'all
1%.
just, you know, that's the
Less
that's
than
the
1%.
1%. So it's like him making it to the league. It's
Yeah.
just like he said, it's the commitment, man,
Yeah.
and just knowing who you are. And like I said, I feel like I took criticism well. So
Mhm.
Dylan, you slow.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna show you where I'm fast
Yeah.
at though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you where I'm at. It didn't.
Yeah.
This day and age, you tell a kid he's slow, he
Yeah.
gonna go home and tell his mom,
Right.
he gonna tell himself he's slow, and he not gonna have the same motivation.
Right.
So I try to tell my wide receiver unit all the time, we have a very transparent room.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys know who they're competing against.
Yeah.
They know where they're weak at,
Yeah.
and they know what they need to do.
What you need to do to get
crack
right.
into this
Yeah.
rotation and help the team win. Rather, like I said, special teams
Yeah.
through the unit. So this is those little things, man. Knowing
Yeah.
who you are, man.
So again, just working hard. I mean, as far as your grades, they got to be right. I can't double down on that
You said,
enough.
I'm not letting it go.
Yeah, nah, I can't.
Grades important.
Nah, they're very important because
Yeah.
you know the GPA that's required to get a D1.
Yeah.
It's a requirement for to get in D2. You know,
Yeah.
and so on and so on. But I mean, the grades are a main thing. But
Mhm.
then after that, it's working hard. It's fine tuning the little things, like not overlooking them, not
Mhm.
when. Like what Dylan said earlier, like listening to that coach actually, because you could have a 1% talent and a 97% listening span or attention span to detail,
Yeah.
and it interrupts everything. You know what I'm saying? So,
Because I was with Massey when he used to do the HBCU combine at Prolific Park,
mhm.
and I was sitting next to the giant scout. He was like, the one thing that gets on my nerves? He's like, watch this. I'm going to repeat myself at least 10 damn times. Auditory skills are the worst. He's like, the first thing I look at a player is if he can get it the first or second time, I'll teach him.
I
But if I got to
Mhm.
keep repeating to his ass, he's like, I don't care how good he is. Get him out my
Yeah.
face.
Mhm.
And then next thing you know, he was right. He was like, what I tell you, these nudging me like I said it 3 times. I said, and these kids don't know, they just shooting themselves. Because in his mind, if I got to tell you more than twice, get out.
And,
Oh, that's
and
real.
you said it was 35% that leave after the first year, 33%.
It's 33% that end up dropping out. Of that
And I
33%,
saw that
75 is African American.
I saw that
So
firsthand.
that typically that's what the issue is. The 67% that's dropped, they get in there, they get a wake up call because the coach, they recruit them, they're gonna butter you up, right?
Yeah.
But then you get in there and you hard of hearing, you're not coachable, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So then
yeah.
you get a
Mhm.
real wake up call where
Yeah.
he's like, man, I loved your talent on tape.
Yeah.
But you in personal form, man,
Right.
you uncoachable. Like, you gotta get out of here.
That's
you know?
a big topic.
Man,
I don't know.
it's 4 instances that I can really speak on as far as this Dylan said, and just going through my whole life. Like I remember, first thing is when I played Little League, we had this thing called Last Man Standing.
Okay.
With the Durham Eagles, and it was a series. I think it was 10 minutes, but it was a series of maybe like 6 or 7 exercises, and it was just repeated. We probably did them for 30 seconds. And if you stopped at any point in time, then you were out.
Okay.
Right. And at that point, the coaches was really like basing that off of who was gonna really giving them their all, and was gonna base the playing time based off that.
Yeah.
No matter how talented you are, right? Because it showed your mental toughness and also showed your commitment. Yeah. But I remember my mom, I mean the first 2 years me playing, and I would get out. She was like, "You don't see what they doing to you?" And it was at that point where at a young age, I think I was like 10 or 11. And it was at that point where I took heed of what she was saying as far as how I was treated at that point. And I could tell you the next year I had in my mind that I wasn't gonna get out.
I know that's
and
right.
that was just the mental toughness that I had built based off her observation and her telling me that where I didn't drop out next time and I was able to play. Another thing was back in high school, I remember it was when I got to the maybe like 11th grade, I think. Was it Coach Hall?
Coach Hallback?
Hallback. It was Coach Hallback. And I had already had Clemson offer, and the name Mike Williams. He just retired. Good career, but he was already there. And Coach Hallback used to tell me like, and I really want too fond of blocking.
Okay.
Right? I was one of those kids.
See, running backs, this is the dude that gets you tackled downfield.
I ran bubbles and I was one of the ones that really just wanted the ball. Right? I wouldn't say I was a prima donna, but I just wanted the ball. I didn't really want to block. Right? You know, and he used to always tell me, he said, "Well, you think you going to Clemson and they got us, 6'4", so-and-so pound receiver that's gonna put his all in the block and you gonna know where you gonna be."
Right.
And for me, like how he was saying, like you could tell the kid that he's slow, and then they're gonna tell their parents. But for me, I took that as a challenge.
Right.
Like you're not gonna talk to me like that. And especially I was confident in who I was and my ability. No, you're not gonna talk to me like that. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder then. And I also had I call him, he was my coach. He started out as my coach, but I call him Uncle Coach now and whatnot. He told me, he was like, "Are you fitting in or are you standing out?" I take that with me everywhere that I go, because wherever I implement myself, what is gonna make me stand out and not fit in with the crowd? So that's going that goes back to my commitment level. That goes back to my discipline. But with discipline, you also got to eliminate the distractions. Right. So that's it's a whole like thing that you can just put together as far as just what you can give out. And when I was at college too, taking what my mom said when I was younger, and taking what Coach Hallback told me, and taking what my uncle told me, I was seeing cats that everybody that was there had the talent, but I was seeing cats that was working extra, doing extra, and just they had more natural ability than I had, and I was just like, it was a shock for me. And just being transparent as far as Red said with grades, people don't know my freshman year I was coming back home almost, and I thought I was going to be able, because I was failing classes. That was me just going out partying. Being away from home. Typical,
I heard my story. I did that happen to me too.
Typical kid away from home, and I wasn't a bad kid because my mom was on me, but she also allowed me to have freedom. But I took that same freedom to college, and again, I didn't really have the discipline back with it. And I was on my way back home, and it wasn't until they sent a letter home.
Oh, okay.
And I knew I had to tighten up, but it wasn't until they sent that letter home where I knew I had to tighten up and just know that my career and my future that I wanted for myself was in jeopardy. So it just locked in a whole different mode, just going through life and just learning and not really succumbing to, okay, well, I failed at this now. And a lot of people go in, a lot of kids now, some adults too, they go into it where they, something bad happened and they go into a hole. Right. And my advice to you athletes, rise to the challenge. Right. Rise to every challenge that is given to you, because again, with your faith, your commitment, your discipline, and limited distractions, then you rise to the challenge gonna be easy.
Yes, sir.
And you'll be able to overcome a lot of stuff that you face.
So, and I'm glad you said that. And Dylan, you kind of alluded to it about, just working on your speed and stuff like that. But let's talk about it even on the college realm. Let's piggyback off of what you're saying and give a realistic glimpse of a failure that you knew you had to overcome. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I knew for me, I had to get my act together off the field. On the field was so easy that I just felt like off the field I could do what I wanted to do until I met the people who were coming from other schools, and they like, I'm here to get it. And I'm like, I'm still playing around because at my high school, I was that guy. But speak to a failure where you had to bounce back because you was feeling yourself, or it was just something that you noticed as a college player that I got to get my shit together.
It's crazy. So I ain't never said this publicly, but when I went to college, and this is D2 now, I'm having, my coaches were all Rich Rodriguez understudies. They come from high inclined places. And it was after my first training camp practice. It was in the film room. Now, mind you, I've never had a Caucasian coach. In high school, I had all African American coaches. So that was already a different coach. Understanding, like, is he talking to me or is he talking at me? You know what I'm saying? So I had to really that was a hurdle already that I was getting over. So, first time we was in the film room and my rep came up and the guy put the laser on me. He was like, "Who's this kid? 84. Who is this kid?" And he said, "Did y'all even play football in Durham, North Carolina?" No. I was just running a route. I'm thinking I'm being me. Yeah. Like it was routes on there, and this is my first college meeting, everything, right? So at the end of the meeting, I'm not gonna lie, I went to a little secret spot. I called my dad crying. Yeah, like, I was ready to quit. I'm ready to come home. I was in West Virginia. I'm in this play. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like he playing with me. Like, do we play football? I just came from a state championship team. Yeah, so I play football. Yeah, But my dad told me I'll never forget. He was like, "Dylan, we done drove you 7 hours. Yeah, ain't no coming home." Because if I let you come home now, you gonna think that's And I didn't build that. My dad didn't play sports. My mom not sport inclined. That was me. So what they won't gonna do is won't let me quit. So in that moment, I had to look at that stuff, and I went home and I kept watching. I went to my dorm room. I remember I kept watching it. Yeah, like, in my mind, I'm doing And I looked at it, and then I started looking at everybody around me. I had guys that came from D1 spots, and I started looking at what's around me, and I said, all right. Yeah. And that was the last time he had to get on me about whatever he was getting on me about, and I had to really just check myself. That was one of my moments where, it actually transparent. Am I fast enough? Yeah. Yeah. Like,
start doubting yourself.
No, seriously. Like, all the stuff that people my boys used to joke on me about, but it came in that one moment. Like I'm in tears. Yeah. Like, never cried, never had that. So that was my moment where I was like, okay, and I ended up being a starter for that university a year and a half later. So that was like, for me, I started 13 games on the college level, and a lot of kids can't say they did that. Right. That was a big challenge. That was big for me because I was getting over recruited on every year. Coaches was bringing in guys to replace me, but I was always
I'm that dog. Don't forget, standing out. Yeah, I'm that dog.
I was standing out. So that was one of my moments, man. And I just, like he said, it was the faith. It was the faith. It was the grit. I had too much God in me to it wasn't about to happen. My dad told me, he was like, "You're not coming home." Yeah. And I worked this out. The phone and I ain't go home till Thanksgiving. He was figuring it out. So that was the grind for me, man. Like, that was my story. So that's really my testimony when it comes to it, man.
Coach, what about you? One time when you had to check yourself, like, when you had to check yourself, when you realized, like, damn, and I got to pick my face off the floor.
Nah, I mean, so one time when I was in Louisville, Coach Petrino. Now, granted, I had one of the stronger arms, and that's how I came up. But I didn't ever have like a true quarterback coach. You know what I'm saying? So it was like one of those things where I always had an arm, and I thought, all right, that's just what a quarterback needs. But through practice, I was missing. Spring ball. I was missing my target, right? And Petrino, he had me come down there and throw for the punter. He had me throw for the punter. You know what I'm saying? To exhibit my arm, but like, I'm like, damn. And then like I couldn't that day though. I was missing my target. He ain't gonna get no more reps with as far as like throwing to my receivers.
Yeah.
But it was like so that humbled me enough to where like yo, I gotta go practice some target practice. We gotta go work on this so we can hit. So we can get some accuracy under this. So, but that was one of my humbling moments, one of my failing moments where I'm like, it was a wake up call. I'm like, I need to start. So now with my quarterbacks now, like we work on accuracy. Like we gonna, you know what I'm saying?
You won't be me like that.
We gonna do.
I don't want you to feel that pain.
Nah, for sure.
But you know what? To that, go ahead.
No, I was saying I add on to it, and this was an addition to me almost being out of school too.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had a similar situation with like Dylan had. My coach in the midst of me, about to be out of school and not really holding up my end of the stick in my academics.
Mm-hmm.
He told me one day, and it was right after practice. And I think I had missed. We had a list that came out every week.
Mm-hmm.
If you was late to class,
okay,
or whatever, I was on that list. And he told me, and I had 23 offers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I had 23 offers, but he told me in that moment, he said, "You can take your back to PT." Like that was real demeaning. That was real demeaning to me, you know what I mean? And it hit me. And I can't say that I ain't give him a few choice of words, regardless of because at the end of the day I was still a human being. And I was growing into a man. But that really woke me up because I realized that it's here really a business, right? It's really here like it's nothing that I can play with or have a sense of entitlement just because of who I was coming from high school. And after he told me that, in that moment, I was like, I felt like I was above that, you know what I mean? Like being that I was already there, but you're telling me I got to go back down to D2 because I wasn't getting it right. Instead of just pouring back into me. But in that moment, it made me realize that I got to tighten up. And I can't play with this no more because what I got from that, he really didn't care about me. As much as college coaches say like, we're gonna take good care of you.
They only want to
If
play.
you ain't handling your business, you really a non-factor, a liability, a non-factor to their job. Right?
I heard.
And
we'll get another you. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. It didn't necessarily have to say
damn,
me, but
I've
heard a lot of stuff to other players, and that's learning from other people's mistakes. Is a wake up call too.
It is.
Like another nugget for y'all athletes. Learn from other people's mistakes. Like and that was again all that stuff that was said, especially to me, was a wake up call that I know I had to really like get on my business.
So now check this out.
Because we're talking about the wake up calls, and we've all had them as players and even as coaches as well. But do you think now we are shielding students in high school from these moments? Because you see a lot of protective parents that don't say that to my son, even though you're coaching them hard and they don't understand the relationship. Are we overprotecting on the high school level to have them be able to withstand what y'all just withstood in the locker room?
I think it starts sooner than that, to be honest with you. I think it started down from Pee-wee, like, so that we all creatures of habit. So like the parents, they don't just wake up in high school and just they're protecting their kids. They was doing that at part one, you know what I'm saying? So like even like, sometimes I don't know, Travion, if you, like, you get some parents that, they be up, overstepping their boundaries when you train them. When you train them and stuff. So, that's like a repetitive. They repeatedly do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know. I mean, I would say just me coaching for a while. I think yes and no. Right?
Okay.
You got like because a lot of it's funny. Coaches will be like, yeah, well, he going through a lot at home. So that. and you want to respect that, though,
for sure.
You don't know how it's affecting them. But then again, me growing up in this game, I didn't seen that before. I didn't seen your story before, bro. I didn't seen the single mom coming from where you come from, and I know that kid didn't allow. Now, granted, we all different, right? But I think that's where the shielding comes from me, where I'm like, nah, bro. I pull that kid to the side like, listen, I know your situation. I'm not about to let you make that an excuse because I got friends old teammates that
Yeah.
came from way worse than what you think you come
and
from.
push through.
So
Yeah.
I feel like that's the part that some of the coaches don't do.
Gotcha.
Right? They see the situation and be like, all right, I only can coach him this way.
Yeah,
Because he's the head of his household.
Yeah.
He's going through a lot.
Yeah.
So I can't put
Yeah.
that's great because when you get in the real world, it don't care.
Yeah.
It
Right.
don't care, right? It don't care about it don't care about if you came from the hood and you been working since you was 16, feeding your little
Yeah. Either
as
you
good as
getting
that
it done or
sound,
not.
yeah, they don't care. So it's like for me, I learned those things so I can coach them to that standard.
Yeah.
Right. So I can say, do you think you're gonna be able to feed your family with that effort?
Right.
Right. Let's
Right.
make it realistic now.
Yeah,
You go to
yeah.
work every day and you give your job
Yeah.
more effort than you coming out here. You might as well go work.
Go
and
work your
hard.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell them that you'll have a coach. That's harsh.
No, it ain't.
It's
Real.
not harsh.
That's where his
This
pride
is
is
the
at.
realest I could get to.
Yeah, your pride
Right?
is at the
So
job.
for
Go work
me,
the job.
It's going back to what we said at the beginning. It's knowing the kid, knowing the relationship,
Mhm.
so you can approach them to coach them at that high, you know, where like you said, nah, that ain't gonna cut it. If I brought your mama out here and she gonna like that because
Right.
I know that kid mama is where his
Right.
trigger.
That's his trigger.
I
Yeah.
do everything for my mom, or I
Yeah.
do this for my grandma. Like,
Yeah.
no, grandma ain't gonna like that.
Right. Right.
Grandma not buying you cleats for you to
Right.
come out here
And do nothing.
and do nothing.
Nah, for sure.
Right? Like, come on, like it's so
Yeah.
it's I think to answer your question, are we yes, coaches are shielding because from a coaching standpoint, they're being lazy.
Yeah.
I played on the college level. It's a certain effort that you got to put in. It's not about you. If you coach in high school for money, you in the wrong.
You can forget it.
You might as well stop coaching. I literally step
You
on the
can
field and
forget
tell
it.
my wife. I told my wife the other day, I really love coaching.
Yeah.
Like I love this game.
Yeah.
Like it's done so much for me.
Right.
Exposed me, made a man out of me for real.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, just to answer your question, yes, I feel like coaches, parents are gonna be parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Parents are gonna be parents. And once you got a relationship with that kid, that's how I get to the parents.
Yeah.
Right. Let me
Mhm.
that's your mama. Let me come talk to her.
Yeah.
And I get real.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me. That's my style. I get real. Like, tell your mama what
Yeah.
how you had today.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how I get started. So
Yeah.
that's for me, from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, it just go back to what I said earlier as far as just knowing the kid, like he
Yeah.
said, and being personable,
Mm-hmm.
and really understanding what the kid goal is.
Yeah.
I asked the kids, what's your why?
Yeah.
Why do you do this?
Mhm.
Great
And then you can go back and tailor how you do coach them and respond to them in moments where they may be facing adversity
Yeah.
or doubt or
Yeah.
just comparing or whatever
Yeah.
emotion they may have. Then you go back to that point where like, okay, well, you said that you want to get your brothers and your mama out of
Yeah.
maybe that one bedroom house where y'all
Yeah.
got to sleep all in the same room.
Y'all
You know what
sharing
I
the
mean?
bed.
And that's just a scenario, but
Yeah.
being able to say like, okay, have a reminder for them
Mhm.
to go back into that mode to why they started,
Yeah.
and even why they are pursuing what they're pursuing.
Yeah.
And I think it is kids are being coddled.
Yeah.
Kids are being coddled. Kids, and parents are not helping them out,
Mhm.
right? And again, me being a parent, I understand wanting to shield your
Right.
kid, wanting
Yeah.
the best for your kid,
Yeah.
but at some point, the kid got to get out the house.
Right.
But that don't start when the kid get out the house.
Right.
It start when the kid's in the house to give them a little leash,
Mm-hmm.
bits and pieces at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being able to be like, okay, well, he can handle that.
Yeah.
All right. So now, now I can see that, all right, well, I'm gonna let this coach really coach them and I'm gonna step back. And to answer Red's question, I never had nobody say anything to me during the session. But I haven't, but at the end of the day, like I get real personable with the parents too.
Yeah.
And sharing my testimony and my knowledge and my experience too.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like again, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what it looks like, I know what it takes, and I know what it looked like when you get there too. And I'm able to share my point of view from that standpoint and to really open their eyes.
Yeah.
So and that, for me being transparent in that sense, especially with the kid and the parent, it's giving them insight on how to cultivate their parenting style, how the kid now go about his craft, and they can come together when they're not with me.
Okay.
To be able to Like, all right, well,
Remember what
coach,
you said?
remember what I said. Coach said this. Oh, coach told me this.
Yep.
And sometimes I don't tell the parent what I tell the kid.
Yeah.
Right, because that's between me and the kid.
Yeah, that's our
Because
relationship.
At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I said
Real.
earlier, the kid is the one that got to go out there and do,
Yeah.
do the job.
Everything.
Yeah.
And that's just how I come with it. But as far as parents calling their kid, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm pretty from old school.
Yeah.
I would say that because I remember growing up, like, get cussed out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
You get yelled at.
Easy.
And you can't
Old school way.
you can't go in there crying. Ooh, if you crying, they probably tell you go run a lap or
Yeah.
something.
You get out of my face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish you
You know
would.
what I'm
Wish you
saying? So
would.
like, and it's not that these days because now you got to take heed of mental health,
Yeah.
right? You got it's a whole bunch of factors that go into coaching the kid that
Right.
hard because you said
Yeah.
a statistic. You said was it 37% that
33% dropout,
Yeah.
75 is African American.
but what's the rate of African American males and just men period having suicide?
Right.
Because they have experienced a coach that really wasn't personable with them,
Mhm.
or they go home and they get yelled at practice and they go home and get
You
yelled
get
at
yelled at
too,
again.
and demeaned, and
Yeah.
and you kind of gotta be
Yeah.
soft in that
Yeah.
point, but you also, again, that goes back to being personable and
Mhm.
like I said
Understand
earlier,
that
I'm making call you out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I know you. I gotta pull you to the side,
Yeah.
but I can
Yeah.
still keep it real with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's
Talking
just
to the
it's
kid,
a,
not at the
and it's
kid.
and you got to treat
Yeah.
them as people.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I know how you say as far as how we keep the relationship as far as coaches and not really
Oh,
indulging
yeah, like
into
our
the,
boundaries. Yeah.
right, the boundaries, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you got to treat them like the kids and the men that they're going to be.
Yeah.
And you got to give them the real, right?
Yeah.
And you got to speak to them where they at.
Yeah.
Right? Meet them where they at, and you just got to be able to groom, and that's what we are as coaches. Like, we're
Mhm.
pretty much groomers outside of their parents, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And an outlet outside of their home. So
Yeah.
we got to be able to have different sides to us where
Yeah.
we can realize, have good people skills and
Right.
realize who we're dealing with.
Right. The one thing I used to tell my parents, and they didn't like it, but I said it. I deal with your kids awake more than you do, especially when school year
that's
kicks in.
real.
When the
Yeah,
school year kicks
seriously,
in,
though.
and I work in the school, I got your
Yeah.
kid for 12 to 14 hours a day.
Mhm.
That's real.
So when you come to me talking about this or that, he's seeing you for dinner and sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He right
saying?
back
Like
around.
he right
Yeah.
back, he
Yeah.
right back with me for the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this segment is called Leadership and Legacy, and I got 3 young black men right here, and I'm going to ask y'all first: what does leadership mean to you all individually? What does leadership mean?
That's a good question.
I can go first, and I'm trying to think, but I go first because I know.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
For me, it's values.
Mhm.
And being righteous,
Mm-hmm.
right? Always being. My mom always tell me, you always want to be on the side of right,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's treating people how they want to be treated.
Mhm.
That's doing what's right even when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
That's leading by example.
Mm-hmm.
And having morals that you can stand on that can lead other men.
Mhm.
And I think those are the 3 intangibles to leadership.
Mhm.
And again, just all it leads back is to righteousness and just
Yeah.
being on the side of right.
Yeah.
And that can really take care of a whole bunch of things if you keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing, and again, me having a kid, just being an example.
Mhm.
Like, kids, they soak up even at the high school and on, even in college. Like, people, we still sponges. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we still learning. So
Yeah.
a lot of we pick up on mannerisms. We pick up on habits. Like,
Mhm.
again, like he said, we're a creature of habit.
Mhm.
Like, we pick up on all those things, and it's based off the environment that we are cultivated in
Mhm.
and that we put ourselves in, that pretty much shape our perspective of leadership.
Yeah.
And just being around the right people and honestly being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is a sign of strong leadership.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Because now I can see you.
Yeah.
Now I know
Yeah.
how to handle you.
Yeah.
Now I know how to, again, tailor myself and you tailor yourself to me.
Yeah.
And now we can come together and everything's really a solution based.
Yes.
Right. If we can get to one solution based off both of our perspectives and be men, not even just men, but to talk to, women as well.
Mhm.
Like, we can be able to lead, but
Yeah.
also having that higher power lead us as well.
I remember Trayvon, I don't think you remember, we was at the 7-on in Charlotte, and the kid, he dropped the ball and the ref didn't see it, and he was like, the ref was kind of asking the kid like, did you drop it type deal, and the kid lied, you know what I'm saying? Then he turned around and ended up dropping the game winning ball, and Trayvon was like, see, that's what happened when you're not righteous. You're not, I don't even know if you remember that, but I was like, damn, that's admirable, because that's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like karma, as far as that's a real thing, but also just living righteous, you're gonna get the fruits of your labor for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, for me, leadership is I learned this from my dad. Servant leadership, right? Treating everybody the same, treating the janitor like the CEO the same way, right? That's what I believe is a leader in small words, right? So it goes back to picking up trash, like doing little stuff, doing stuff that somebody that they might look at you and think it's above you, but I'm with that.
Yeah,
like I'm with all of that. And that's what I think. And like he said, just being able to look yourself in the mirror, right, and holding yourself accountable. I tell my kids all the time, I'm not always right. I'm gonna be on the field sometimes, and I'm gonna be wrong. Right, but it's your job to not really challenge me in that moment, but you could come to me after, and I'm quick. I'm so quick to be like, well, I was wrong, but
you're right.
Like, I was wrong. He didn't see me. They didn't see me and actually like, no, I won't. Right. I say this, and I'll be like, no, I'm wrong. And that's the vulnerability you're talking about. And they see me. They don't see me as, oh, Coach think he just perfect because he's a coach. No, because I used to hate that when I had that in coaches. Like, coaches be dead wrong. I'm talking about this college. This college. Like, I got in trouble. That was a lot of that was my strife. When Coach he said, I had a couple words. The Durham would come out of me sometimes, like, and I had to work through that because that was kind of my struggle. I had a mouth on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like to let stuff go. Like, that ain't right. Sometimes you just gotta let people. So it's going back to just being a servant leader, man. Being able to get your hands dirty. Like, I used to watch my dad be in full suit booted clothes, and he'll be picking up, like, I'm talking about doing the worst of worst. He used to always say they just closed. And that stuck with me. Like, people be like, Dylan, fresh. You wouldn't see me though. I'll go out here and go right now and do the worst or whatever you want. In these clothes. They just closed. So it's not even nothing to do with football. It's just having that servant in you, wanting to do. So like for my head coach, I try to be whatever he need, I do it. And it's to really show not that our coaches don't, but I ain't like, just because I got this confidence don't mean I won't go do what I need to do. I go do the laundry.
I was about to say I'll do laundry in a heartbeat.
I do all of that. So that's just being a servant leader. That's kind of my type of leadership. I always say if somebody asks me what type of leader, I'm a servant leader.
To piggyback on what these two great fellas said, man, was as far as humility, right? It's just being humble, right? Understanding that, man, we're gonna go as far as our leaders, right? As far as, so with that understanding, you like, man, I got to be able to connect on all levels, right? So I can't relate if I'm a dictator, right? If I'm over here telling you just do this, and that's what I also try to instill on the quarterbacks as well. Like, man, we look up the definition of what humility is. You know what I'm saying? We try to find out, get to the root basis of like what it means to lead those other 10 guys that you got to tell the plays to. So as far as, like they say, humility, but then also like vulnerability, as far as like, okay, I'm holding myself accountable. So I'm not holding to this standard of this shallow standard or this hollow standard of like, oh, I'm this. Even if I mess up, like, oh, it wasn't me. It was it wasn't me. It was you. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to be accountable. Like, I did that. Okay, now we can fine tune. We can fix it. We can roll with it. Now we're gonna get better. Now we're gonna. That's what I look for as far as trying to build it.
This one's probably gonna be harder.
I say another thing that came to my mind.
Yes, sir.
As far as just us speaking. And it boils down to having emotional intelligence. Right.
I agree.
Even us as men, like we don't have the I'm gonna just say the natural ability to have emotional intelligence, and that's the relatability to be able to do that with other people as well. But we don't take pride in being emotionally intelligent with every situation that we face. right? Because a lot of us just we go off ego sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes we go off pride.
Yeah.
And to be able to expand our bandwidth of being able to understand each emotion that come.
Yeah.
We're able to now relate that to the kid, and also that goes back into the vulnerability part.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. This question might be a little bit harder. Everybody I've asked this question to, it takes a second, and it's all right. We can have a little dead air, but I would like an honest answer, because I got brothers on here, and I need other people to see that we think about stuff like this. What does your legacy mean to you? And then what do you want that to be? So when you're no longer coaching, when you just at the crib and people are talking about each one of you individually, what do you want that legacy to be?
I can go, man. As far as I would like it to be righteous, you know what I'm saying? Genuine and pure. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't come with no ill intent. It came with just honest passion and just love from God, right? That shine through me, but to give and just a generous soul type thing.
Got you.
And I guess for me, just to kind of go back on it,
What happened? No.
I think it said battery.
Did it?
Yeah.
Answer it. Hold on.
Somebody called.
See what happens when you go live? The last question, no.
Yeah.
How long did we go? We over an hour?
Yeah, we over an hour.
Damn, that's the problem.
Okay.
Come on, man. Y'all supposed to keep me on the clock, man. Hold on. Nah. Yeah, right. Hold on. Nah. I gotta get it back. Y'all hold on. Nah, I need this answer down. Hold on. We'll be right back. Hold on. Let me take We back in the game. See, we just had, I don't know. That was the devil at work. He didn't want the great answer. So I'm gonna kick it back though. So that the question was, what is legacy to you? And then what do you want your legacy to be? So when they start talking about what you contributed to lives, to the game, all that, what do you want your legacy to be to say it was job well done?
All right, I'm gonna give another brief segment on what I said before the camera cut. Thank you to me. But now, man, again, legacy to me is something that is an impression or memory that you left on people, and like something that they can remember you by. And I think that what I would like my legacy to be and my name to stand on after is like I said, genuine soul, man. He gave more than he took. You know, it was pure. It never came with any malice or any ill intent. You know what I'm saying? And it's love that came from God that was given to me that I just tried to exude out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I pray every day for my legacy to be.
For me, I mean, being a father too is just, first of all, just being a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a good dude. And secondly, it's crazy. My friend asked me yesterday, how much do I lead my players to Christ? And I told him not as much as I should. Right. That's again holding myself accountable. So I would want to say add that too. You know, just leading them to that higher power, them understanding that I'm a man of God, which I talk about it, but just really letting them understand that even with my shortcomings, I'm not what my mistakes are. Right. You're bigger than any mistake that you're gonna make, because as long as God give you another 24, that's another day to get it right. So like, as far as my legacy, I just want them to know that I was there for them, you know, any way that I could. And I imparted things in them that they never even heard before, or I was confirmation from what they was getting from home. You know, because every kid some kids are like, he didn't have his dad always, but his mom was imparting ways in him that made him a man. You know, more of a man than some kids that had a man, had a dad in their house. So I say that to say, you know, we always talk about the bad side. It's just being that person that just kind of be either a confirmation or an affirmation. You know, for that person. So that's my legacy, and just that's dope. Just being a good person.
That's dope.
For me, being a man of God first. Someone who's authentic. Someone who loves what he do. Loves being in the community. Because I understand the importance of community. Someone who, like Red said, left an impression to where that even if it's just, you know, a few words of encouragement, right? You know, some things that people take from you can leave an impression. Just like, you know, you can. I had a friend that told me that he would forever love me because he was getting picked on, but I took up for him. You know, and it's like impressions like that that kids remember forever, and just who you are. And I think, you know, again, by me having a kid and also having someone to carry on my last name, I think the legacy that I want to leave is someone who challenged the kids, someone who gave them insight, someone who again, me being vulnerable and allowing them to see my point of view and take some of the things that I went through and being able to implement it in their own leisures. And someone that this is a tough question, because, you know, you think about legacy, like it's a lot in legacy. Like you want to leave a mark on people that just that can't leave. Like and it's so much, and it's hard to say legacy because it's still so much that I want to do. And still want to be to the community, the kids, and even in my own personal plans and my purpose as well. But more so someone that can be reliable and a man of God. And just leaving an impression and how I'm building right now.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Now, I got another question. I got two more, because now the camera, we good now. The first question though is for all three of you. and I'll start with Dylan. What do you want the legacy of 919 Elite to be in the community? Because you got stuff like, we all had some type of summer something that we did that sticks with us even to this day. I could ask like a memory from the summer that you can go right back to as a kid. So what do you want 919 Elite legacy to be, or what do you want it to instill outside of football for these young men?
It's kind of like when we talk about the genesis of it, is being beyond your challenges, right? BYC, right? Is really being beyond anything that's placed in front of you, right? Every day, big or small. Challenges don't have to always be big,
right?
Challenges is making up your bed, cleaning your room the way your mom wants you to, right? So really, if I wanted to say what I want the legacy of 919 to be, is being beyond your challenges and being a holistic organization, right? Knowing that you got not just me, it's different elements, all different stories of men that's a part of the organization that you can pull from, and to say that organization made me not just better on the football field, but they made me better in this and that, or this or that. And I want the community to just be able to know that we're here for them, right? And we're working on, me personally, I'm working on just making sure that we're in different parts of the community and reaching out more. But it starts with me first, right? And me doing it myself, and then just these guys keep pushing me and adding on, like, you know, they'll say, yeah, come out here. Like, you know, just showing face, right, is enough sometimes. So that's what I would say, just from that point, just being a holistic organization, you know, making sure that there can be beyond anything that's put in front of them in life. Because we all had to jump over some type of hurdle to get to where we're at now, and still jumping. Right. So that's what I would say, is being a holistic organization, youth and skill development on and off the field. And how about the involvement as coaches to 919, like the lasting legacy? So like, let's say like in the Boys and Girls Club, you knew there was one counselor there, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? So how does it, what legacy do you want to leave 919 Elite?
It's funny, I'm gonna share a story about what he said as far as his legacy. It was a point in time where I trained with him. When he was training, I trained with him when I was still playing. And it was a point in time where I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was trying to figure out my purpose. And I remember hitting him up like, you know, when you get some work, and you know, he's saying like, okay, I got this 7 on 30, you come out with these boys, and I thought I was just gonna come out there and practice with it, you know, and just and kind of implement my knowledge here and there. But when I got around it, it was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna hop in with these kids. There ain't no point for me to do that. And then it started turning into me, you know, giving little nuggets. And I can say for me, that kind of sparked my purpose and me finding what I want to do as far as coaching. Like right now, like I feel
seen it in them too.
Like as far as me, like I remember my Coach Sweeney used to tell us, like, we had camps. He's like, you really can't be good at your position if you coach it. So I'm like, I kind of had that in my mind, like, okay, if I am this good player and I can be able to coach it in a sense the way these kids can now put it into their own respective. I'm not gonna go to a whole loop, but for me, that was the spark as far as me getting into coaching. And this would be my 4th year this year.
Going on.
This is my 4th year this year. So and that was just how I really got into training, to be honest. And a couple of my kids that I trained in my first 2 years came from 919.
Okay.
So now to me, that was just, you know, a little kudos to him. But now to me, as far as, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So what do you want your legacy to be inside of 919? How do you want to be remembered as one of the coaches in 919? What do you want kids to say about you years later?
That they love being around me. You know, like a lot of kids just want to feel a sense of belonging, right? And to have to be a person, that's another thing as far as adding to my legacy, right? Just giving kids a sense of belonging and being comfortable with being in such a community that he's created, and just being able to feel comfortable with coming and having an outlet while also being able to pursue their dreams and also, you know, being around people that are really genuine and really take pride in growth and take pride in pouring back into the community as far as the reason why we even got into this.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to leave to them to let them know that they can always have someone in their corner, whether it's me, Reg, or Dylan, that they can call back, you know, call back and be like, hey, like, I'm going through this right now. Yeah. Like, what can I do, or, you know, what kind of advice you can give me? And just, you know, just being that positive influence, and again, just another outlet.
Yeah. How about you, Coach Reg?
Yeah, so I mean, just so I'm from Greenville, right? Like I said before, and I can just look back to a youth coach that I had, which was Coach Carnell, and just all the memories. And I just left a camp that Cornell Powell through, and we all went through the same program, Greenville Housing Authority, right? Yeah. And I can just remember how Coach Carnell, he was that father figure for us. He would come pick us up, but he was also, you can call him at any time. He gonna be there for you. There's the hundreds of kids that he caring for, right? Yeah. So that's that genuine, unmalice, like that's just that honest. I'm just here to serve.
Right.
So
right.
I would like to give that to the quarterback position, but also all the kids that come through 919 Elite, right? Just I want to be able to be a service, whatever they need. I'm here for you. I'm a consistent coach that can give you whatever you. I mean, as far as from the quarterback position, whatever you need, but also as a person, right?
Yeah. My last question. I'm gonna get y'all out of here. Do you feel? Well, it's a two-part question. Do you feel as though it's a difference being an African American coach? Because we've had both. We've been coached by Black coaches, white coaches. We are Black coaches. Do you feel as though there's a difference? One, and then two, do you feel like the relationship or expectation from Black players is different towards us Black coaches? Do we bear more weight of responsibility to see these young Black people through?
That's some good questions.
That's a great question.
Because, and the reason why I ask is because my story, for those who may be watching and didn't know, I went to a predominantly white school all my life. So I went to Catholic school. So then I had the opportunity to go to Notre Dame, and I said no because it was another Catholic school. And I was turned out because back where I'm from in Pittsburgh, there's no HBCUs. It doesn't exist. So the Omega Psi Phi fraternity does a Black college tour, and they start at FAMU, and then they come all the way back home to Pittsburgh. Yeah, I was turned out. So I ended up, I seen a Redbone in Winston-Salem, and I went to Winston-Salem and lost my mind. Long story short, did not graduate from Winston-Salem, ended up going back home. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've had, once I left from Winston-Salem, though, I was right back with the coaches that I'm like, y'all don't feel me. Like, it was different with Coach Blount at Winston-Salem than it was going back home. And it was hard for me to explain it to my homeboys who never seen it the other way. I'm like, yo, we ain't being treated right, yo. This is crazy. Like, don't nobody love us right now, yo. They love you. I'm telling people, go down, like, y'all need to go down south. It's different down there. Yeah. But then being a Black coach, now there's the flip side. Now we all coaches, right? Yeah. In the kids, I feel a different, like, you know what I'm saying, coach, and you be like, I do know what you're saying. And so then you feel that weight of, I was you, and I get it. So do you guys feel that weight, and do you think it's a difference? And then, speaking to your experience too. So like I said, we've been to PWIs, and then, you've had your going to Hillside, you ain't had no white coaches. So y'all can talk about the differences in experience, and then the weight that you personally feel.
I'll go ahead. Like, I don't, in my eyes, that's where the passion comes from. I don't really look at it as a weight. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I kind of look at it as like, okay, that's what drives me, right? So we're gonna that's what's gonna hold me accountable. Yeah. Right. All right. And then it's no picks in it. So it's genuine. It's gonna be like honest critique when I'm critiquing you and stuff like that. So that's what I feel like with that sense. Like, as far as, and then the second part of your question, what was it?
The second part, well, the first part was, is there a difference?
Yeah. As far as, it's definitely a difference. It's definitely, you know, as far as like just like what we were saying earlier, like I think everybody said it. It's that personal bond. It's that it's that connection. That's what's gonna make. You said like, hey, it's still in that confidence to make that player run through that wall for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, coach want me to do this, man. I just like, it's beyond me.
I don't want to let him down.
I don't want to let. It's beyond me. I can't let coach down. Like, y'all tripping. I can't. I'm like, it's you and coach. You gone. Nah, for sure. But that's, you know what I'm saying. That's what I think is like the main difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of go to and I heard, it's crazy. I heard Nick Saban say it, and it's said it a while back. I've learned to stop being, I ain't gonna say I was, but being transactional, right? Like, you know, sometimes as a coach, there's a lot of coaches, they'll put their PTSD on their own kids, right? The things that I went through, you know, trying to put it on them. And I vowed to not do that, right? I vowed to kind of use those, as he said, it's a responsibility. Pressure is a privilege. So I never been scared of pressure. I always kind of embraced it because, you know, my dad used to put me in situations where, bro, ain't nobody. This is what.
This is what it is, bro.
Life is. It's pressure. So you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So just to say, like, the difference, it is a difference being a black coach. First of all, being a black coach is a difference than, you know, because most of the area I'm in, like now I'm at Jordan High School, it's different than coaching at Hillside. Right? It's totally different. Like, and I embrace that. I love it because now I get to test. It kind of brings out, you got to be able to coach the African American kid the same way. You got to be able to coach the Caucasian kid the same way. You can't really have a difference. You don't coach kids different, but as far as the critique, it's honest, right? It's not, it don't have no color to it, right? I'm gonna coach you the way you be coached, but you know, being coached by black coaches and then getting to college and, you know, me being transparent about that moment, I think that was really half of my tears. Like, is this man talking to me? Like, you know, I couldn't get over because it was the first time, like, ever.
And see,
like,
that's why I asked the question, because it is a culture shock.
Different.
Like,
it was,
who is this dude talking crazy?
I'm in West Virginia. So it's like,
Lord.
You know,
ain't nothing out there.
The only
It's just
kids that
y'all.
look like me was the ones that played ball, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that whole concept was big. It was different. So now that I am a coach, it is different. It is a certain type of pressure, but like he said, it's not bad. You know, you take it, and it's a privilege. Like, I got to be able to grow these men first into young men, and make them great character young men, and then the football comes after that. Because at the end of the day, I don't want him to think because he dropped the ball, I'm not gonna coach him no more.
Right.
But I want him to understand that dropping the ball ain't the standard either.
I know that's right.
So it's just, you know, it's just that fine balance, having a relationship with the kid, and you know, doing that. So yeah, it is definitely a difference.
I see you've been over here marinating on it. Dabo, you kiss my son.
For me, coming from predominantly black schools and having, you know, predominantly black coaches, me being a coach now, and I live by these two things. Heavy is the head that wear the crown, and to whom much is given, as much is required. Right. That's two things that I keep ingrained in my mind. So for me, like, it's being able to be adaptable to your environment, and me going to a PWI from being in a predominantly black schools, growing up in that, it made me be adaptable, right? And to, as far as the pressure, as far as being a black coach, I don't think there's no pressure on me, because again, the relatability that I can have with the kids, it's just, and treating people, you know, how they, you know, how you want to be treated. I think that all goes into it, and it eliminates the pressure, right? When we talk about pressure, we putting it on us to where we got to perform beyond our measures. Right. We looking at stuff that and making up stuff in our head to where we, you know, just creating a narrative that's really not true. false reality,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the pressure of the pressure that is with being a black coach is being able to get the community of black people out of that mentality of what's it called? I'll go back to it.
Okay.
But getting them out of the mentality of poverty.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. getting them out of the mentality
Yeah.
of poverty and that we don't belong.
Right.
But yeah,
that's
like,
a big thing, man.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that our kids, when you put them in other places, they eventually adapt, but initially it's that piece
That's
of
how
should
when
I
I
even
first
be
got to
here?
Yeah.
Culture shock.
That's why I did not go to the University of Michigan.
Culture shock.
I was recruited by
Yeah.
Michigan. I went on the tour. I went on the visit. My mother was like, "What you think?" When I walked out that tunnel and I seen all those people, I'm like, I can't play here. This is crazy. And there was nobody that's like, my man, you 215 playing running back, you 5'10", 5'11", and you run a 4.5 40. You're gonna be all right. I didn't have that. So that's why even now as a coach, I take the stance that I have because I had opportunities and was just like, meh, because I didn't have no confidence. Nobody was feeding it to me.
Yeah, but with the pressure, and it's taking away it's taking away the doubt of belonging, right? And I think again, just being personable and really knowing their story, you can really tailor it. And it's not even just with the African American kids, with the Caucasian kids too, because at the end of the day, some of us go through the same stuff, regardless of what race we are.
For real,
right?
you start learning that quickly in college. What?
Coming to the realization of what real life is.
Yeah,
it kind of weaves out that dynamic of having pressure on you.
Yeah.
And and again, like Red said, just having passion for it.
Yeah.
Right? Having passion and being able to, love the game and give your all. And it'll eliminate all that.
Itself.
Yeah.
So then this is it, man. So I appreciate y'all being here. This was a great podcast. We lasted as long as a movie. That's an hour and 38 minutes up there. So for those who stayed the whole ride, I appreciate you. Those who jumped in, I still appreciate you too. And you can always rewatch this on Facebook, Instagram at Coach Block or First and Goal 365. How can we get in contact with you? Give your social media handles and all that good stuff for people looking for training or want to be involved with 919.
You can follow us. You can follow us at 919 Elite. You can follow my coaching page at Ball Coach Davis. If you got any questions, if you're looking for training, I'm gonna send you to these guys' ways. They gonna give you their platforms. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and I coach skill. My training page is get.icky. And my main page is Trevion, Trevion, T_01.
Coach Green, I coach quarterback.
Oh, come closer to the mic.
My bad.
That's all right.
Yeah, Coach Green, I coach quarterback. So I mean, you can get at me at NCQ quarterback coach Reg 10 and on Instagram, or you can go through our quarterback club. Yeah,
we got
quarterback
a website
club
as well where you can get to him. And if you want to inquire any skill type position, and if you go through us, I'm gonna send you right to Coach Trevion too as well.
Yes.
So and I want to, if you don't mind, I want to get a shout out to all the coaches that are with 919 that's not here. Coach Clark, Coach Love, Coach Ron, and any other coach that's ever been a part of 919. We appreciate you, and just we want the community to be around us, youth teams, anything y'all need, all of that stuff that we're here for you. Like we want to be a resource to the community. So it's not about who's in front, who's last. It's just about the development and being there for the youth. So if any organization need us in any type of form or fashion, clinic wise, we're gonna be there to help you guys in any form or fashion. And any young coaches that's looking to be a part of us, we're here. You can tap into us. You can tap into anybody else. We taking them in. College guys, y'all come back and need some. We here. So just wanted to make sure I throw that out there. Yeah.
And shameless plug, Coach Clark is my brother-in-law. So definitely come out and rock with him. Yeah, that's my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. And let's not make this the last time. I need y'all to come back and do this again because we ain't even had the fun conversations. We start talking about 7-on-7 and all that. This one was just more so about people getting to know y'all and then just being a leader and what it looks like to be in the community. So make sure you also tap in on YouTube to see the coaches. So far, we've interviewed Coach Lee. We did Coach Wilson. We've done Coach Now. We've done well, I didn't put out Coach D-Rob yet. That's a special one. There's a reason why Coach D-Rob got deep on us. So, and then am I missing anybody? No, those are the ones we got out so far. And then coming up, we got Coach Saxby from New Bern, and we got Coach Rack. We're gonna end with Coach Rack before we get ready to do the Jamboree. Jamboree is August 16th. If you want to, you can go get your tickets now, or you can wait and get them at the door. Same price, don't make a difference. And remember, a portion of the proceeds will go to the Durham Public School and Wake County Schools and Craven County, because that's where New Bern comes. So make sure you know that you're supporting every time you buy a ticket. This is your man, Coach Block, and I'm out. Peace.
Appreciate you.